I'm a storyteller. I'm an actress.
唔係睇電視，
做人都咁辛苦啦，仲要貼錢攞嚟同。
你嚟玩我做咩？
我係見鬼。
Even up until now, I'm still very curious. Like, each press trip, each film, even when I'm doing my clay. And I guess that's just part of me.
Karena, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
You are ambassador for Le French May Arts and Culture. You are a decorated actress in the city, and that's what we all know you for. But tell me about yourself growing up in Canada. Were you always artistically inclined?
No, never actually, because being born and raised in Canada, everything was just very simple, and my parents were really busy doing their, working, and me and my sisters were, like me and my 3 other siblings, we just grew up like any other kid, playing street hockey or going swimming or just running around and using our imagination, no toys and not much entertainment, but we would just be able to learn how to entertain ourselves. Yeah.
Do you think that's what inspired you to go into the arts or be inspired by art?
I've always liked arts, but it wasn't from my family. It's more of, I remember Vancouver would have the International Film Festival, so I would love getting the student tickets where you can just go like movie after movie, marathon stuff, and that was something that I really enjoyed very much. But I never did I ever, not for a thought, that I would actually be in the movie business until much, much later. Ever since I was little, I love talking to elderlies. Like, I remember they would give me this nickname called 問題少女 because I'm always asking questions. I'm like, 點解會咁嘅？哦，嚇點解啊？我話哦，點解會咁啊？又定邊個啊？咁I'm always asking questions. So they call me the problem girl. So I find this really interesting because even up until now, I'm still very curious. Like each press trip, each film, even when I'm doing my clay and so. I guess that's just part of me. Yeah.
Do you see any kind of link between art and film?
Film is art, isn't it? Yeah. It's a medium of art, and so for me, everything's the same. Everything moves the same for me, meaning-wise, and even on the practice of art. Like for me, the past 4 years, I've been really obsessed about doing pottery. And I realized I found many linkages from pottery to my performing arts as an actress because a lot of it requires breathing. Like, whether you're centering a clay, you're always you're adjusting your breathing. And so even as an actress, if you're doing a thriller, or you're being scared all the time, you're like, or even if you're crying, and you feel that feeling, it's more or less, the breathing is very similar. And so for me, like art it's everything, the way of life, pottery, movies, music, everything. So I don't necessarily differentiate it by categories. To me, it's just a way of life.
Do you see that kind of spirit or spark in your daughters?
My daughters are really creative, actually. They got into pottery 3 years before me.
Wow.
And so I learn a lot watching them work. For example, like my eldest, she's 13 now, Kayla, she would pull a vase and then I would, cut out for her. I cut it and then she goes full on speed and goes, and then the vase goes from straight to like twisted. And she's like, now it's done. And I'm just like, oh, I learned something. Like, you really have to be very open-minded, and that kind of spontaneity, I was just like, wow, I find it very admirable. Like, she didn't want a straight vase. Now it's done, and that confidence and that kind of simple intention, and it's something that I learned so much from my girls.
深刻嘅就係同阿扎哈個女性嘅指揮家一齊對話。其實佢已經有一個夢想、一個理想，就係想成為一個指揮家。而喺當其時喺音樂 呢個界別裏邊個個都話係冇可能嘅，一佢係個女性，二佢係個新移民，三就係冇咯。但係佢都冇放棄。
You mentioned that you connected with Zahai
Yes.
because like both of you were mothers.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that conversation?
Yes,
and
because
that connection?
Yes, because her daughter's 9 and she's a cellist, and so basically Zaha, when she was on the road touring with her orchestra in different parts of the world, she'd bring her daughter with her, and so her daughter was she would always talk to her daughter like an adult, like not babying her to it, but like an adult and letting her know what her mom is doing. And I told her, I shared my experience. I said, every time I encounter a new script, my daughter, my eldest and my youngest, they would read my script. They were literally like on the dinner table, like, oh, you know that script that you're about to do? I have some notes to give you. I was like, okay, yeah, give it to me. And so, it's just really, I find it very, that bonding, having your daughters involved or know what their mom is doing or what they're passionate about or what they're about to do. It's like they learn about your work and your craftsmanship. So I find that very interesting, and me and Zaha, we touched on that.
You talk about Zahai and she encountered so much sexism as a mother of
Yes.
2 daughters.
Yes.
What are you afraid of for them?
I'm
their
all
future?
about embracing, and I'm all about speaking out, voicing out. I mean, I wish I did that when I was younger, but I feel it's easier and easier for the younger generations because they have this kind of exposure and they learn about empowerment and so I'm all about. That's why it's funny because my mother, she can't stand how I do this. Like because we're always talking about stuff on the dinner table. So sometimes they're like, Mommy, I don't like it when you. And my mother's like, you're telling your mother you don't like something about your mom, and she's like, I'm just like, Mom, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, what don't you like? Let me think. Let's talk about this. And so I'm all about. I just like talking and being very. I'm not scared about confrontation. I think just how the family was constructed, and for the previous generation, it's more like you don't, just it's best not to even talk on the dinner table. June something fun. Just focus on your bowl of rice or something. So it's really not about confrontation. You can't confront your parents in my upbringing at least. But for me, I'm all about just let's be honest and be frank and so my girls they're really good in sports. Wow. So they tend to. Yeah, they tend to feel like more superior if they can beat the boys.
That's a great confidence booster.
Yeah.
That's a great confidence booster. And I mean, this is your 11th year?
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel there's so much more that you could give?
I do feel the responsibility that comes with it because every year just, sitting down thinking what could we bring to Hong Kong, what would something that the Hong Kong audience would click with and whatnot. So and just I try to absorb as much as I can from each press trip. So I come back to Hong Kong, I can share stories because I'm a storyteller. I'm an actress, but it's something that I take with delicate care with. Yeah.
Thinking back, is there a particular proud moment or a proud piece of portrait or a work that you were proud that you were part of?
Well, every edition of the Le French May, I'm very proud because they're just a team of 6 people and they bring in over 100 shows coming to Hong Kong just in from May to July. So, and this is in Hong Kong, Macau. So I just feel like, wow, bravo, just a team of 6 doing all this and the logistics and the the researching and whatnot, and it's just insane. But I'm very proud to be a part of Le French May, even after 11th year. But I'm always looking forward to the next year. That's something that I'm always excited about, but which I can't say, but but I'm always looking forward to the next year. Yeah.